The opinions expressed on Teachavision are solely those of the guests and hosts and do not represent other companies or third parties. Thank you for listening.
Welcome to a Teachavision bonus, where you never know what surprises are within unless you play it. Bonuses do not follow the usual podcast routine, so without any further ado, here's your host, Jose Briceño.
Hello there, hello, welcome to the podcast. As the introduction said, it has been a while since we have actually published an episode. We ended up having to take a hiatus while we got some things straightened out, but we are now back. I am proud to announce that we actually presented at a conference this year for the very first time. Myself and Courtney Greer, who you heard on the first few episodes of Teachavision, we did a presentation in San Marcos, Texas this year at the Texas Association of Educators and Rehabilitation Specialists for the Blind and Visually Impaired, shortened to TAER. I know, that's a very long name, isn't it? We did a presentation over technology in the school system for students. So Screenless Allies has reached a few people. So if y'all are listening and y'all met me through TAER, then welcome to the podcast. Also, we have reached 1,000 plays all in all while we were gone. So thank you to those people that actually went in, played the episode. We have definitely been pretty inactive and we apologize for that. But we are coming back slowly but surely. And today is one of those bonus episodes. On this episode of Teachavision, we are going to talk about something that we attended this year. We went to Orlando, Florida to a conference of the National Federation of the Blind. We actually went for the exhibit hall. And on this episode, we're going to talk about some of the technology that we saw there. We're going to bring back the panel. Remember the panels? We're going to bring that back. We have my buddy Edgar. We also have Alyssa Minwell, who was also on this podcast, along with myself, and another guest named Ahmed Abahar. Thank you to those three people that you're about to hear for joining me on this roundtable. Without any further ado, we really hope you enjoy this extended episode of Teachavision. On with the show. Edgar, how you doing today, man?
Hey, Jose, I'm doing good, man.
Good, man. Good. Yeah. Pretty good, man. And then Alyssa, how you doing today?
Doing great.
All right. And Ahmed, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing wonderful after I drank my coffee.
Today, as I mentioned in the introduction, we're going to talk about the convention. So we're actually recording this live from Orlando, Florida.
2024, July the 6th.
July the 6th of 2024. 10 years ago, we came to Orlando, and it was way different. And I'm going to play a little update we did from 10 years ago. At the moment, Edgar and I are together at a hotel in Orlando, Florida, because we are at the 74th Annual National Federation of the Blind Convention.
We have been fortunate enough to come here and enjoy ourselves and indulging ourselves in all this nice technology that is being demonstrated by certain assistive technology companies, as well as other things that are going on in the convention itself.
We've already been to a couple of assistive technology meetings as of this date.
We actually started off really well. What did we go to?
Well, man, this morning we went to Freedom Scientific, the creators of the JAWS for Windows screen reader, and today they unveiled some of the features in JAWS 16, which should be coming out in public beta in September and in official release in October. And there you go. As you can tell, we were very inexperienced. We came here to the convention of the National Federation of the Blind and Advocacy Organization. We didn't even go for the politics. We went more for the technology. And that's what we're here to talk to you guys about today.
For additional context, 10 years ago, it was only Jose and me who attended this conference. And it was an enjoyable experience back then. But now we brought along some friends. And I think it's even more of an enjoyable experience this time around because we get to share in our love of technology and just in general blindness-related things that we were able to explore at the convention hall and the exhibit hall. The exhibit hall was where everything was at.
Ahmed, have you ever been to a convention before this, man?
No, this is my first time. I loved it. I loved it so much, especially the exhibit hall. It was more than I expected, to be honest. And it made me consider coming back here again. Just for the exhibit hall alone.
Alyssa, have you been to convention before this?
Yes, I was actually at the convention 13 years ago when it was in Texas, selling my jewelry as an exhibitor. And it's interesting coming here as a participant, not as an exhibitor. It's interesting kind of seeing both sides of the map, so to speak, seeing the different technology that's here and the other things that are here. They even have the independence market, so seeing what the NFB brought to sell themselves. Very fascinating to see every single table.
There was a lot more ways to navigate there, which was great. More navigation aids.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have that 10 years ago. Because 10 years ago, when Edgar and I went by ourselves, we were 19-year-old teenagers, and we thought that we were the biggest, manliest man ever. We did it. We survived. But now we definitely did a lot better. We were able to navigate.
So even just to get from point A to point B, because back 10 years ago, we mainly relied on taxis to take us from the hotel to the airport and vice versa. But this time, we have Uber. Like, Uber exists in most major cities. We've been able to take a full advantage of Ubers to get us from point A to point B. And also, for additional context, we're staying at an Airbnb at the moment.
Which, by the way, I can definitely say we're going to do again.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because it gave us much more freedom than a hotel. We have our own furniture, our own rooms.
Our
It was a
living
great
room.
idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were able to use Uber to get from the Airbnb back to the hotel. Definitely, Airbnb is an improvement over the hotel room because we have a lot of space. But yeah, we were able to escape from all of the crowd at the hotel. That was one major advantage.
Let's actually talk about our favorite exhibits. We're going to go with the ladies first, and then we're going to give commentary on what she has to say. So, Alyssa, your favorite exhibit, the name of the booth, and the device, and why?
So I have to say one of the devices that really took my breath away was seeing the activator. I believe the name of that one was Dream Vision, was it? I think it is. Dream Vision. The activator by Dream Vision. That was really neat to get to see what that could do in that new Braille display. And then the other one that I found that I finally got my hands on was the Monarch Braille display that has, the tactile graphics. It was interesting. That's been a product that there's been a lot of hype about. And I think for myself with that device, when they make it a Braille display that actually works to connect to a computer, that's when I'll be more interested in it.
The activator is actually made by Help Tech, but distributed by Dream Vision Group here in Texas. This device is a hybrid. So you notice that we have a review of the Mantis Q40 on our website, and we have a review of the Brilliant displays from Humanware. One of them is a Braille keyboard, which is the Brilliant. One of them has a QWERTY keyboard, which is the Mantis. Picture that, but picture it in a hybrid device where if you flip it, it starts off in Braille with the Braille keyboard, and if you flip it over, it turns into a QWERTY keyboard and, magically.
Beautiful QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah.
It was the best thing that we could ever see. We're just like, we never thought this would happen. And it's designed for iPhone as well, so you can actually do a little bit more things with the iPhone with more apps and such. I think we can all concur that we all thought that the activator was probably one of the best devices.
And then they
we got
also
to see.
made the activator in an 80 cell, a full-blown keyboard with the numpad and all of the function keys and then some. It was mammoth, but how cool would that be?
Another cool thing is that actually those don't have thumb keys to move.
That's right.
You can read to the end
and it
on
detects.
both models.
Yeah, it
And
detects
it
if-
detects.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it detects it, and it moves over.
The refresh rate on it is fast. Super fast.
Yeah.
And you don't even hear it. Some Braille displays you can hear when someone's pushing the thumb keys or someone's reading. But this one was very quiet, at least from what we heard in the exhibit hall.
It's very quiet. You can't even hear it.
What is the price?
Well, it's a little
Was-
pricey. It's, I think, for the 40
The smaller
cell.
40 cell was like $6,500.
Right.
And then the 80 cell, they haven't gotten on the market yet.
I
but
think I
believe
heard
it was
12,000.
We were making a joke about this, but if you guys think that you could buy an 80 cell and decide, oh my gosh, I'm going to take it with me, it's great. Yeah, think again. I promise you it's not going to work out.
It was a mammoth.
It was a mammoth. Also, the keyboard. Let me just take a second and admire the keyboard on that display on the 80 seller. That keyboard is mechanical and it's a desktop keyboard. You have your 6-pack, you have your function keys, and then you also have below the function key row, you have another row of 12 function keys, which is F13 to 24. And they say that you can actually assign it to do different things, different macros. So imagine being able to open an app on Windows with just one key press.
Does it have an applications key? I don't remember.
Yes, it does.
Oh, okay.
And then there
Okay,
were
that's
even
good.
keys beside the numpad on the far, far right side. There were even keys over there. It was just amazing.
We will.
Oh, yeah.
This is honestly, I think we can rank that at number 1 for our favorite.
Well, there was another one.
There's another one.
So I think for Jose, Ahmed, and myself, the number one best technology that will be out hopefully soon within the year is this new utility or this new tool that they're making for mobility called Glidance. And this is going to be a revolutionary product. It is a mobility tool that will steer itself, and you as a user will push this device. It has wheels on it, and it has a handle, and you push this device forward, and it will steer itself around obstacles, and it will announce whether you're getting close or further away from a target. It does so many things that I think the blind community needs. Something that has been needed for a long time.
The cane has not gotten an update in a long time.
Yeah.
Yes, there are, what they call smart canes and such, but that's a whole nother topic for a whole different day. I think the Glide, to me, is a big leap forward for cane users.
Especially with the AI features that it uses, the fact that
Yes.
it moves itself while you're moving with it. So you don't really feel it. You just move with it.
Mm-hmm.
You move really fast with it. In the beginning, you're hesitant, but then when you get used to it, you just go on with it. And that's what's amazing about it. So let's say you have a guide dog.
That's right.
And when we're walking with you, we're walking really fast compared to walking with a cane.
Mm-hmm.
Walking with the Glide made me feel at least that I'm walking like I'm walking with a guide dog. I'm walking fast. I'm not afraid of anything in my way. That's how awesome it is. That's how it makes you feel. It makes you feel very independent.
Mm-hmm.
And to clarify, this product is not out yet.
Yes.
This is not out yet. This is coming next
It'll
year.
be out in 2025.
Exactly. Honestly, for me, I was speechless. I was just in shock in a way because before then Edgar got to see it himself and he was like, man, this is the best thing ever. When people say revolutionary, right? I'm like, okay, right, revolutionary.
Yeah.
For example, when the Braille Note Touch from Humanware came out, they said revolutionary device, right? And we got it, and what happened? It ran an older version of Android. It was slow. It was laggy.
I think they were one of the first ones to put Braille note-taking capabilities on an Android device.
Right.
The way they did.
Right.
And maybe at the time, it was almost considered revolutionary, but now it hasn't caught up to the time.
It's run its course. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But now this thing, the Glide, is definitely revolutionary. And you can ask Edgar,
Yes.
I was quiet for like a minute trying to figure out what to say because the founder put me in my place going, what did you think? And I'm going,
We were speechless.
no
Yes.
words.
Yes.
Are y'all going to be buying a Glide?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
What is that going to retail for, do you guys think? Did they say?
1,500.
1,500, yeah. There are some specials going on as of this recording. The pre-orders, I think they're taking 30% off or something for pre-orders.
30%
And then they also had a founding program, which by this point is already gone. When it comes out to most other consumers, it will be $1,500.
Okay.
And then there will be also a subscription fee, which I don't know if you guys caught, because of some of the capabilities that are going to go online.
What are the other features that we expect to see on this
Well, let's see.
device?
There was that target lock. So if there was something specific that you wanted to locate, like a person or a door or whatever, you can tell the Glide to move specifically towards that direction.
If there's an obstacle in front of you, it breaks.
Oh yeah, that's right. That one too. So yeah, it'll stop. At the moment, it stops abruptly if something gets in front of it.
Eventually, they want to make it to where if you put in a destination, you just put it in front of you and start rolling, and it
Yes.
takes you there.
Yep.
So how many of you think that this is like the pre-cane devices when we were babies?
It kind of feels like it, yeah.
That's coming up next year. And honestly, I think that's the main
The attraction,
we got to go
yes.
see at convention.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And with that, we'll end this episode right here. Because I don't think anything else can top it. So long.
I think there's some honorable mentions too. So
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we should talk about the different Braille displays that we saw.
Yeah,
I know we just talked
let's
about
do
the
that.
activator, but I
yeah,
know
there,
were
there are
like
other
others.
Braille displays that
There's
we
the
can take a
Optima.
look at.
Yep, the
Yeah,
Optima. That's
Optima.
another good
Yes.
one that should be coming out.
Let's talk about Orbit Research. I reviewed the Orbit Writer on Screenless Allies. They have a
Yeah.
good lineup of Braille
Yes, they
displays.
do.
They really do. And we want to thank Orbit Research for Because we were taking up the line for about 25 minutes.
Oh,
just
yeah,
looking
good.
at
Yeah.
all the
about
Braille
that.
displays. So let's start off. You said the Optima, man. Let's go and start there.
Basically, it's a Braille display that runs Windows and it has a QWERTY keyboard. But that's not the awesome thing about it. What's awesome about it is that they partner up with a company called Framework, which basically makes modular laptops. So these laptops, you can build them yourself in a way, and you can switch ports, add stuff, remove stuff.
You can specify what you want in terms of memory, storage.
Yep.
Yeah, all the peripherals, like Ahmed was saying.
So you can essentially buy RAM sticks. Let's say that you needed more RAM in there. You could actually add the RAM yourself. I think the cool thing that I like about this is that you can run basically a computer. It'll remove the ability to do a standalone Braille display because you won't need it because it has a built-in Braille display on it. The model we saw had no screen on it.
So the device you're describing is a standalone computer with, instead of a laptop screen, it's a laptop with a Braille display as the screen, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
It's a Braille display and a keyboard. You can load into Windows, and I think they're going to also do like a regular note taker.
Right.
So,
well, they're going to have some software that runs over Windows that basically behaves like some of the old note takers.
right.
But it's still going to be Windows.
Exactly. And it will support the screen readers that every teacher has used. So JAWS, NVDA, etc. They don't, what did they tell us, man? We don't discriminate.
Yeah, we don't discriminate. So yeah, NVDA, JAWS. It might even run Window Eyes.
And you know what's funny is, there used to be a device that tried to do that. There was a device called the L Braille. And this was, who remembers
yes.
Who remembers the Pac-Mate?
Yes.
Oh my gosh,
I do.
yes.
Yeah.
Or as I like to call it, the Whack-Mate. Right?
Whack me.
Because it was slow, it was laggy, anyway, that's another story. Y'all can go check out episodes 15 through 17 for more information on AT history. The Pac-Mate got discontinued. They silently removed support for the Pac-Mate, and they needed a new device. So another company called, I can't remember what the name of the company was, but they decided to partner up with Freedom Scientific to make what they call the L Braille, which was basically your Focus Sporty Braille display, which is the Freedom Scientific brand, and a computer. They started it together, but that thing had 4 gigs of RAM?
4 gigs of RAM and maybe like 128 gigs of storage and
like an i3, right, man? Maybe.
Yeah, it was barely enough to run the JAWS screen reader on it.
You couldn't install anything else. I mean, you could install NVIDIA on it if you knew what you were doing, but obviously it was favored by JAWS for Windows.
And this is not to discredit that product, because I think
not at all.
that paved the way for this product.
Yeah. It did.
And also, they unfortunately just discontinued developing it. So there were never any new additions. There were never any new innovations being made on that front. So I think the guy who started this whole effort decided to move on to making his own version of this and basically trying to improve it.
And here we are.
Yeah.
With the Optima. What is different about Orbit displays just in general?
They don't have the PSO cells except the Optima, which will come with them. So they're more noisy.
But I think the winning point was that they managed to find a way to make Braille cells cheaper.
Correct.
Because I think that's a big problem in the Braille industry thus far, is that anytime you want to put a Braille cell in any device, it's about $100 for one single cell. And they managed to bring that price down.
They accept feedback,
Yeah.
to be honest. They're really good at taking up suggestions and, taking up feedback. And for me, in terms of customer service, from what I've seen when I visited their booth, they're really good.
Optima isn't out yet. That's another thing, too. That is not out yet. It's supposed to come out, next year?
Yes.
So I was wondering, what if you'd be able to build your own gaming laptop that outputs Braille using the Optima? That would be amazing.
I'm sure they'll allow room for that, especially with some of the high specs,
Yeah.
the high specifications that they'll allow you to get.
Man, wouldn't it be interesting if they married the Optima with, say, like a Monarch or something like that, and you got the graphics
Ooh,
too?
that would also.
Speaking
that
of
would be-
gaming, like that
yeah.
could be like
Oh, see, that would be interesting. 'Cause
just
you could,
awesome.
Yeah.
the Orbit Slate. Let's talk about the Orbit Slate for a minute. 5 rows of 20 or 3 rows of 40. Are we starting to see the trend of multi-line Braille displays?
I have heard varying opinions about this. I think that it's great that companies are starting to develop multi-cell Braille displays, but unfortunately, screen readers aren't really there yet. in being able to support them.
Right.
Now, if you want to use some of the onboard capabilities of some of these devices, then yeah, I feel that you can definitely get your money's worth from that. But I think sometimes the reason why we buy Braille displays is to be able to connect them to, say, your iPhone or your Windows computer or your Mac. And unfortunately, screen readers haven't really caught up yet to these things.
Just in general, I think multi-line is getting a little bit.
Better.
It's better, and I think it's heading in the right direction. I will say that.
Yeah, I think we're on our way there. I just don't think we're there yet.
All right, guys, now tell me, because there's another product that I think is on our shopping list of technology, the Orbit Q series.
Yep.
Tell me about this, guys. To me, it looks like the Mantis, but cheaper.
That's what I was going to. That's how I was going to describe it. Basically, the Mantis, but cheaper. And I'm not saying that the Mantis, you shouldn't buy the Mantis, because of course the Mantis is really high quality. They use the traditional piezo Braille cells. If you are looking for a 40 cell Braille display with a keyboard attached to it, and you want to only spend maybe how much is it? $1,200?
$1,200 for the 40 and $1,000 for the 20.
Yeah, and if you only want to spend that much, I feel like that's a good substitute.
I agree.
Yeah.
And the Braille is really nice.
And the keyboard is very smooth to type on.
I honestly would be buying that display. I think I would buy that.
I would too.
Those are available for order now. We actually got to talk to the head of Orbit. Honorable little mention real quick, went to the Orbit Speak.
Yes.
If you see the Orbit Writer, then it's just like it, but a little thicker.
And also, it's comparable to the BT Speak from Blazy Technologies, which is out as well.
The BT Speak, for those that don't know, is another note taker, but it's also supposed to be a more modern edition of the old Braille and Speak from the 80s.
Yes.
Guys, we got to have a battle. Listen, you mentioned the Monarch, but the Monarch has a competitor, the Graffiti. Honestly, when I first saw the Monarch a few months ago, I thought it was impressive. I thought it was great. I thought it was nice. But then I got my hands on a Graffiti, which is from Orbit Research. That device was before the Monarch, believe it or not. Mm-hmm. But they didn't think about making it quite yet. That device honestly does much better because it represents shading. It can do different dot heights. It can do a lot of that. The only thing it can't do that the Monarch can is to put Braille on the actual graph itself.
It sounds to me like the Monarch, they're heavily advertising it to the education industry, which for this podcast is actually very appropriate. The Graffiti, I think, is certainly, they're trying to hopefully make it more for a consumer, like any end user who wants to use it for everyday use, or maybe even a professional maybe.
There's even a third competitor yet, the dot pad.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the Monarch cells are based on the dot.
That's correct. They partnered up with dot pad.
So I think if you were to feel a dot pad, they
do feel very similar.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can pick just yet because I don't know the full capabilities of the Graffiti yet. I wish I had these products when I was going through schooling.
Same.
When I was going through college, when I was doing all my undergrad and all that. I wish I had these products because I would have definitely benefited from them. But now I find myself trying to find a good use for some of these if I were to buy them.
If I was given $1 million today and I had to choose between one of those, I'd honestly donate my $1 million to somebody else. Until these devices are able to be supported by a screen reader, I think for myself, I'm out of the game.
There's a new product out there that we got to play with yesterday. The Braille Doodle.
Think about a thick spiral notebook. That's the best way to describe it. And the cover of the spiral notebook is one side of it, and you flip the spiral notebook over, and there's something does something else on the other side. The top of the spiral notebook has an XY coordinate, and there's a stylus, and you can sort of draw on this spiral notebook, and it'll allow you to make these different figures. I was actually talking to the developer, and inside this spiral notebook is a bunch of little itty bitty magnetic beads. Actually, I think they're metal beads, and the stylus is magnetic, so you've got metal to magnet. And so as you touch the stylus to the notebook, it pulls those metal beads up, and you can basically make these different shapes. And then on the other side, they have Braille letters that are written there. And you can basically practice making Braille. So they've got 2 cells per letter. Gosh, I really wish that I had this back when I was taking algebra to make my graphs and such. It would have been so much easier.
Yeah, and for reference, also this in the sighted world, I think they compared it to a Etch-a-Sketch.
Oh my gosh, I feel like this could be good for children.
Yes, for
Especially,
sure.
Absolutely.
They tell you in class, I want you to draw what, man? A giraffe. It's a giraffe. You can draw a giraffe, and they have stencils. Who remembers the stencils back when you were kids?
Yeah.
Yes, and they had stencils with this too.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you could put an outline over it and draw it. And the teachers could look at it and grade it according to how you drew it. I think that's a lot better than 2 words, guys. Wiki sticks.
Oh my gosh.
You can't hate on wiki sticks though. Those are like
They were fun. They were so fun.
No, you know what, man? Wiki sticks are puff paint.
Oh yeah, puff paint.
Puff paint, wiki sticks, draftsman.
Yes, the draftsman.
Which, by the way, for the sighted world, for those that do not use a draftsman, it's a device that very similar to what we're talking about, but you put a little piece of special paper on top of it, and then you would draw with a stylus that would actually raise the line for you.
And I think a lot of TBIs actually buy those for their students.
Yes, they do.
In the school district.
They definitely do. The price for the Braille Doodle,
$150.
Here's my question to you guys. Can you use it to learn handwriting?
Yeah, technically you could.
Guys, anything else y'all want to mention? Because honestly, those were the highlights of technology that we got to go see. Honestly, that was pretty much the big ones. Obviously, there were other exhibitors there. For example, Microsoft was showing off Forza, a video game.
Sort of kind of a plug from Microsoft. You know, the one device that they had that they were actually giving away is their Microsoft Adaptive Kit. That thing is really neat, how you can put these different stickers on your keyboard. And it's actually something that I myself have purchased.
The Adaptive Kit is pretty cool.
I think I would just want to say I really enjoyed going through the exhibit hall. I think we got a lot out of it. There were so many good exhibitors, all the Braille products, all of the we even got to see a Pixel Fold for a little bit. That was fun.
That was nice.
There was the Orcam. I still haven't seen it as of this recording yet, but we definitely should go see that.
Yes, you guys definitely should. I saw the all-terrain cane, and I believe that they're gonna revolutionize how canes are, because when I tried using one, I didn't feel like they're very flimsy compared to the Ambitech cane. You can move with them more easily, you can control them easily.
And this is, by the way, designed more for hikers.
Correct.
It was worth the airplane ticket to just walk into the door of that exhibit hall to just see
I agree.
all of the different technologies. Everybody has a different way of making things in a different interpretation of a Braille display, or an interpretation of a cane, or an interpretation of a voice recorder. It's so fascinating.
This was definitely a fun convention. I think the technology that we got to look at was great, and it was just great just having this adventure from Orlando, Florida. So Thank you for listening. Edgar, man, thank you very much, man, for joining me again 10 years later, being able to do this recording.
I hope we can do it again, maybe next year or in a few years from now.
Yeah, next year. Ahmed, thank you, man, for coming up here and doing this for the first time with me.
Do it again.
Yeah, Alyssa, too, also thank you for coming with me and, of course, doing this recording with me as well. And thank you for getting here.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all three very much. Thank you to the girlfriends of these guys over here, wife of Edgar and girlfriend of Ahmed, for letting me borrow these 2 children for this podcast. Stay tuned for some more surprise episodes and more about our website, because you never know what can pop out of nowhere. So thank y'all for joining us. So long.
So long, guys.
Isn't it crazy how technology has evolved over the years? It's amazing to see. Thank you again for listening to this episode of Teachavision. If you have any questions or wish to contact us, you can email me at info@screenlessallies.com. Or you can go to the website, screenlessallies.com, to check out the latest articles. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/screenlessalliesofficial. See you next time.